With free agency officially begun, the Boston Red Sox will look to strengthen their roster in their pursuit of not just making it back to the playoffs, but to win a World Series. One area that they will need some slight improvement is in their starting rotation, as by the end of the season they had exhausted nearly all of their depth options. While the ace spot in the rotation is locked up thanks to Garrett Crochet, and the back end of the rotation can be pieced together with some combination of the other pitchers on the roster, the team needs to find front-end starters to help bridge that gap from Crochet to the back end, especially if they want to compete in October. And while the depth for free agent pitchers isn't that great, there are still a handful of interesting options that could potentially fill that gap in the rotation. Among the pitchers, the most obvious fit is Dylan Cease, who is a free agent for the first time in his career. Cease, who is coming off a strange season with the Padres, has been linked to the Red Sox in the past with trade speculation prior to the 2025 season. Now, he could be a fit in their rotation thanks to his underlying metrics. Despite a season that saw him post an ERA above 4.5, Cease was better than that thanks in part to his expected ERA being 3.46, over a full run less. Add to it his ability to generate chases and whiffs by opposing hitters, and he could be a welcome addition. Cease also is impressive with his ability to strike out opposing batters thanks to his 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and in 2025 his strikeouts per 9 was 11.52, the highest of his career since 2021. However, he doesn't come without potential issues due to a high walk rate. In 2025 it was just below 10%, and to go along with that, his fly ball rate that season was also 41.5%, something that could possibly be detrimental at Fenway. Zac Gallen is another interesting free agent. After the 2024 season, it seemed like he was on track to be one of the most sought-after pitchers on the market based on his past 3 seasons. 2025, however, erased those hopes as Gallen had the worst season of his career, walking a career high while also allowing career highs in home runs and hits. Gallen also had the lowest strikeout per 9 of his career, and despite that, he could be perfect for the Sox rotation because of the work Andrew Bailey has done. Gallen ticks off a lot of the same boxes that Lucas Giolito did when he signed with the Red Sox, a previous All-Star who was coming off a rough season, and he also has a similar pitch selection to Giolito, with the curve being used more compared to Giolito's slider. Gallen, who would bring a veteran with playoff experience, would be able to help guide the younger pitchers in the rotation throughout the season, and with a ground ball rate of nearly 44% in 2025, he wouldn't be as much of a worry with dealing with Fenway's special dimensions. But perhaps Gallen's most important aspect is his ability to provide length. Since 2022, Gallen has thrown at least 184 innings, except for in 2024, when he only made 28 starts. Last season, he threw 192 innings while providing 15 quality starts. That would have been third most on the Red Sox in 2025. The third player on this list is an interesting one, considering he has never thrown a pitch in the majors. Tatsuya Imai has played his entire career in Japan, but is now rumored to be coming to the United States to play baseball. Since the 2022 season, his ERA has not been above 2.5, and in 2025 he took it to another level by going 10-5 with a 1.92 ERA and a 0.89 WHIP in 163 2/3 innings. In that span, he also struck out 178 batters. Also, the Red Sox are no strangers to signing Japanese pitchers between Daisuke Matsuzaka and Hideki Okajima, not to mention their pursuit of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. However, Imai is an interesting one that should be viewed carefully. Despite being relatively young for a pitcher, Imai has pitched in a 6-man rotation, and his career high for games was 26, set back in 2021. How he holds up across a major league season with just a 5-man rotation is yet to be seen. Likewise, his smaller frame of being 5'11" and 154 pounds leaves injury concerns. But the potential for an incredible pitcher is there, with a fastball that on average sits between 93 and 96 miles per hour, while having the ability to top out at 99 miles per hour, not to mention an assortment of breaking pitches with his slider, curve, and splitter to go along with above-average command that makes him extremely interesting. Imai also strikes out nearly 4 batters for every walk he surrenders, something rather impressive and needed, especially come October. The Red Sox will likely surprise everyone with who they choose to target, but you can't help but look at these 3 as interesting picks. Though, the hope is that whatever the Red Sox do, it'll strengthen their team for a longer playoff run.